Okay, so I've got Lumion open. I just want to go over maybe the process for updating things that you've done in Revit. So here, the first thing is open the file that you've worked on previously, because some people were suggesting that they essentially start again with a new scene and then bring in their new Revit file again into Lumion. So is anyone thinking about doing that?
Sorry, say that again.
So some people are saying to start with a new scene and then bring in the new Revit. So don't do that. So you need to load the file. Okay, so remember, so if you've already done some work in Lumion, so you're not starting with a new scene, you're going to load scene, and you're opening the file that you've saved previously.
Okay, so then my question is, when I've made changes to the Revit,
yeah, that's what I'm going to show you next.
okay.
Yeah. So also don't double click. So when you go to your folder where you've saved the Lumion file, right? So I've saved it here, right? So I've got this Lumion folder, and so what a lot of people do is they double click on one of the files that they've saved from Lumion. That also can cause some problems.
So don't open it through that.
Open Lumion first. Yeah, exactly. Well, it is an app. Yeah. So open the program, open Lumion, go to load scene, and then load it from here. So either click load scene, or if you've got it there, you can click on the shortcut. Yeah, and that's right. And then you can export again. So here I've made some changes in Revit, but I won't export just yet because you'll see why in a sec. So okay, so I've got my Lumion file open, and so now I might decide I want a green wall. Where I want to have it, I'll do it over here. Okay, so I want a green wall up against this little alcove here next to the fire stick, make it look a bit nicer. So, right, so I want my green wall there. So back into Revit, and I'm going to go to, firstly, make a wall for my green wall. That's the key to it. You need to have something to assign the green foliage to. Exactly, yeah. But I'm going to make a new one. So here I'm going to make a wall and use one of my existing wall types. Any of these will do. I'll just use the generic. Edit type, duplicate. I'm going to call it green wall. Oh, absolutely. You can keep them both open and swap between them. Definitely, yeah. These computers are powerful enough. Most of your laptops, yours definitely. Even though you can't put Lumion on your laptop. Yeah. Okay, so then that's the first thing. You need to give the wall, if it's a wall, you need to give it a new name. But that's not the only thing. You also need to give it a new material. So here I'm going to go edit. It's got the finished material, so I go there, and I'm going to just duplicate that material and call it green wall. And also, hopefully used to this, duplicate the appearance.
Okay, this is another question. Is that all?
Yes, that's the key. If you're having problems with materials changing when you don't want them to, it's usually because the appearance is shared.
Yeah.
So generally, if you see a number there other than 0, duplicate the appearance, and that'll solve it. So if there's a 0 there, you're okay to change it however you want, and I'll just make it green so that I can see a change. Yeah, that's it. I'm coming around. And, well, I'm doing a 3-story high green wall in my own house. Yeah. So that's my new thing that I'm going to council now to try and get them to kick off. Well, technically, I'll probably do it as it's going to be amended DA, but otherwise there have to be at least a compliant development. Yeah, internal, but it's going to be connected to an atrium.
Yeah, I was wondering how that.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to have a bit of open space that connects to it, and then I'm still going to need a watering system because they'll be able to climb it. Yeah. That'll be great. I reckon they will be able to. Yeah. That's the plan. Yeah, that's it. And I've done a bit of gardening over the years, so I've got an idea how to make the plants, survive. And that's the other thing. If you're ever going to design a green wall, if you've never done much gardening, most people have probably, but if you haven't done much, do a bit of research on the growing mediums. That's the key to it. Yeah, we're going to plant edible things. So that's one of the main reasons I want to do it. Yeah, plenty of herbs, but then probably other. I reckon even tomato plants and things like that might be alright.
One of the best things we saw on our weekly trip was that building that had like trees on it, not just plants, but it was like the tower of trees or something.
Yeah.
That was so
Oh yeah, you can do. Well, the other thing I'm doing is I'm building a big sort of atrium, exterior atrium that's got slats all over it, like a sort of enclosure. But then it's going to have the trees poking through it that are already there. So yeah, so it should be good. Yeah, so that's a great thing. One of the best things about having you know, Jean Nouvel getting that botanist to do what was it? You know, Central Park in you know, in Sydney, because that is the best building that's gone up in Australia in the last 20 years. Yeah. Yeah. So for all the yeah. Oh, it does lots. Yeah, there's lots of ways to put it. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's does a few things. But part of the water recycling as well is built into that. Yeah. So I want to make this a bit thinner so it doesn't stick out so much. So maybe I'll just make it 20. So anyway, so I've got the thing I want to have as my green wall. So I'm going to then save the file and then go to my Lumion view to export. So yes, I've saved a Lumion view. I've just called it Lumion and then hidden things like trees because I don't want them to come across. So I'm going to make sure when I go and export that I'm exporting from there. So now I'll go to the Lumion tab, I might save the file first and then I'll just export again. Yeah, it's got to be a 3D view. Yeah. Okay, and then I'm going to make sure as well that I export to the same folder I did before and use the same file name. And so I know I have because it's asking me if I want to override it, so I'll say yes. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just save over it. Yeah. Is it on your laptop? You need to have added did you install it? Yeah, you've got to install, so for Lumion or Revit Active Sync. It's an Autodesk app, but you can, yeah, it's free. Okay, so I've done that, and now I can just go back to Lumion and update the imported file. So this is the key. This is what I think a lot of people are missing. When you want to update it, you've got to have it selected. At first, it's easy because it'll be selected the first time you bring it in. But then after that, if you go and open it again, it's not selected anymore. And how can I tell? They don't have the options up here on the right-hand side. Usually they come up there to reload it. So if you don't see those things, make sure you're on import over here. Import's not the green one. That's to bring in a new file, just the blue one. So imports, and then you've got to be on select object over here. So those two things, and then you can sometimes have to zoom out to find the import node. So that's here when I hover over my big model, it's this sphere, the little dot that pops up. Okay, and when you click on it, it'll go blue to tell you that it's active. Then you get the panel. So that is what you're looking for. This button then re-imports the model, and if it's got the same file name, then you can just click on it and it'll pick up the one that you've overwritten, like I just did. If you've saved it with a different file name, you just need to hold down Alt and click on that button and it lets you choose a different file. So there you can see there's my green wall. And it literally at the moment is just a green wall, of course. But I want that to then have what I was talking about, the Lumion foliage, to make it a real planted wall. So it's surprisingly easy. You just use materials to do it. Yes, yeah, recording. Okay, so I've switched over to the paint can materials down here, and I'm going to select my green wall that I made in Revit. And you're going to be amazed how easy it is. You just need to assign any material, pretty much, and it can just be a plain colour. Do you know how to do plain colours? Here, the roller. So it's on custom. You go to the colour option, and then you can set a colour there. Oh no, but actually this one, normally this is good for plain colours, but it's not what I want here. So I'm going to go back up. So that's a good thing for you to see as well. If you've assigned, or if you've got a material and you're adjusting the properties like I am here, right, that works. But then, say you decide you want to go back to the library, use this button here. I suppose it bounces, so that gives you an idea. So instead of doing that, I'm going to go to one of the pre-made materials. So I'll just go to indoor and then maybe plaster. Yeah, and I'll just get one of the plaster materials. Doesn't matter which one. Yeah, that might be good. Okay, and so to get to the properties for that, a bit like before, I'm going to double click. Yeah, and this is what we want. So notice how now we've got all the different settings. If you don't see that, just click on this little arrow to bring up all the additional tabs. And then the last one is foliage. And then you'll be amazed how easy it is. Drag the sliders. Yeah. Because the ground level. So here, you just bring the ground level up. There we are. That easy. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it is. I mean, when I went and worked it out, someone asked me last week, and I thought I'm going to have to go and spend a couple of days working this out, and it took me, 2 minutes. Once I went on to, good old YouTube and saw someone else doing it. So that easy, and so you can all have planted walls. Just try and use some different leaf types, or they're all going to look the same. So here, you just got this slider for different leaf types. And yeah. So if you go up close, you can see they do have lots of really different types of foliage. Amazing, yeah. Mind-blowing. I mean, that used to be a huge exercise in 3ds Math in the old days. Yeah, so you just change the leaf type. It's that easy. There are dozens of different leaf types built in as far as I know. I don't know. Well, yeah, eucalyptus is a bit of... Yeah. Eucalyptus, I don't know, do they have creepers? They probably do. Yeah. So that's it, just experiment and... yeah. No, unfortunately. Yeah, ropes you need to model, basically. Yeah, just lots of extrusions or sweeps sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, they're tricky. But it's the only way, as far as I know.
Have you ready for the framework? And the first round, I wasn't sure if it was
So that's it. Notice how the grass as well. So that's a similar approach. That's just a grass material.
And do you make another plane for that as well, like for
Yeah. As long as you've got a surface, then the material.
So what, you just put flooring down and you can make it grass?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. That is topography. That's a topo surface. Yes, in Revit. And all I've done to break up the different areas is use subregions. Yeah, subregions don't use split surface unless you really have to. Subregions are easier. They're also easier to delete. Yeah, in Revit. Yeah. Subregions. Yeah, so when you make a topo surface, just if you need different materials on it.
like outside garden?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, but you can use floors for ground surfaces as well. That's fine. But if it's outdoors, and especially if it's sloping or uneven, then topo surfaces are a bit easier. Yeah, then you can. Yeah.
Can we not bring out models for you?
Yeah, of course you can.
No, can we
Oh, can you not bring them? Yeah, that's okay. You don't need. Yeah, that's fine. Just do them. Yes. Yeah, we're not really going to be looking at the models much anyway. Yeah.
He just said it's changed, we're going to change it to 15.
Yeah, well, that's when we always had it, but we were debating whether to move it forward.
No, yeah, it's our final assessment, isn't it?
No, it's in our final.
That's it's. Yeah.
Oh,
The prelim is not hard.
can we just not do it then, shall we?
Well, it's so that we can give you feedback before
Yeah, I think it's good to put it up
your
on
final.
the screen and see what it looks like up on the screen.
Oh, true.
And also to do it dry run, so you can see if there's any problems once you go over to the big room. Yeah,
Cool, so we'll see if it works on that projector and everything.
exactly.
And then just make changes.
That was
Yeah.
good, 'cause I just wanted it.
That's right. Yeah, that's the whole reason. Yeah, that's the reason we're doing it. Yeah, to get feedback.
Yeah, it's just for us. It's not like a marketing.
No, yeah. And so, particularly, so it's a dry run, for using that room, but also if you have technical issues, say with Lumion or something, because you will, or a lot of people will, then we can, you've got a chance to correct it. Yeah, exactly. That's it. So, unless you can think about anything with Lumion, anything else, there's probably not much else to look at. Yep, okay, so I'll finish there.